Hey out there, welcome back to your Pennsylvania Dutch Minute. We continue our short series this episode on famous Pennsylvania Dutch people. And today we're doing a video on someone, to be honest, I never heard of. And I should have because A, he's Pennsylvania Dutch. B, he was really famous during his lifetime. And C, he was a talented string musician. Three things that are all, well, two of those things I really, am interested in, as you know, Pennsylvania Dutch. And if you don't know, I play music as well. I think I've talked about that in previous videos. But I came across this guy and his story not too long ago, and I thought I gotta share his history with all of you. So today we're talking about Roy Smeck. And Roy Smeck, I'm going to read some things that I found online, share some photos with you, and then direct you to be able to see some of his videos that are out there and music. This guy's absolutely amazing. This first part I want to actually read from a biography that I found online out of the book Famous String Instrumentalists. But let me just read this part to you, and then we'll talk a little bit more. So it said, on a frozen February morning in Reading, Pennsylvania, and only 37 days after the 20th century, so 1900, was given birth, so was the newborn Leroy Smeck. The United States was entering its 125th year of independence, and the war that had ripped the country to its foundation had ended, along with the life of President Lincoln, only 35 years before. Leroy Smeck, named after his father, came into the world on the 6th of February, 1900. The Smecks would also have a daughter, Mildred, within the next few years. Roy's self-deprecating sense of humor came through in all its glory as he recalled his roots. These are quotes directly from him. Quote, I was born in Reading, Pennsylvania. My father worked as a claim agent for the railroad. I'm Pennsylvania Dutch. Did you ever hear of them? You ever hear of the Pennsylvania Dutch? Well, they're about as stupid a people as you could meet. They're very sincere and they'll do anything in the world for you. But as my father used to say to me for laughs, Roy, if you had another brain, you'd only have one. I'm just a plain, simple Pennsylvania Dutchman. Whew, that's a little rough on us, but I guess that was part of his sense of humor. According to the biography, Roy's childhood was pretty uneventful given the time period. Sounds like he had a pretty good household growing up. His father encouraged him with musical instruments, and it's there that he, of course, would become famous. Reading from some other sources I found online, it said that as Roy was growing up, he became a self-made string instrument virtuoso. He played banjo, guitar, Hawaiian steel guitar, and the ukulele. And that would be the instrument that really put him over the edge. He's got in the vaudeville circuit early on. And then he was lucky enough to be contacted by Warner Brothers to start appearing in some movie shorts during the 1920s, wowing everyone who saw him play with his unique blend of jazz, country, and Hawaiian styles. And it would be his ability at playing these instruments that he got the nickname the Wizard of the Strings. He was sponsored early on by the Harmony Company in the 1920s, who issued a Vita uke, which was and other ukuleles, and they were modeled just with his name. It was his signature line, and these became extremely popular for people to purchase. In 1926, he appeared in one of the first sound films ever made by Warner Brothers slash Vitaphone. I mean, that was huge. We're leaving the silent era and breaking on to the era of talkies and sound. And there was Roy Smeck right at the ground, in on the ground floor when all this was going on. Among other notable appearances, he was in multiple movies, and he wouldn't just play those instruments. He went on to teach himself other instruments like the steel guitar and the six-string guitar simultaneously along with these other instruments. In 1933, he was invited to play at Franklin Delano Roosevelt's presidential inaugural ball. He also played at George VI's coronation review in 1937. He toured and played in Scotland, Ireland, Germany, Japan, Iceland, Greenland, Alaska, Canada, Puerto Rico, Korea, and of course Hawaii. He also appeared on TV shows like The Ed Sullivan Show, The Steve Allen Show, and The Jack Paar Show. Over the course of his career, he made 500 recordings for the Edison Company, the Victor Company, Columbia, Decca, Crown Records, RCA, and many others. And a good number of these records are still available for purchase. He also played with other people, but he really was known for his solo routines. There was a documentary movie made about him called The Wizard of Strings, made in 1985 by Alan Edelstein and Peter Friedman, which went on to be nominated for an Academy Award. It didn't win, but it was nominated. And Smeck died in 1994 at the age of 94 in New York City. I'm going to link underneath the video here to some videos on YouTube of him playing, and when you watch him play, it's unbelievable. As a musician, I know the kind of talent that this man had just from watching him play. He truly was the wizard of strings. And and he was playing the kind of music that was popular at the time. Therefore, it was very easy for him to break into that, into that scene as being a popular musician. And it's he might not be the poster child for the Pennsylvania Dutch. He kind of went in a different direction. He didn't stay in Pennsylvania Dutch country. He moved out and became famous. And sounds from his biography and his quotes that maybe it wasn't something that he was the most proud of. But regardless, he was a Pennsylvania Dutchman, growing up in early 1900s era Reading with a name like Smeck. Saying he's Pennsylvania Dutch, it can be postulated that his parents spoke Pennsylvania Dutch in the house. He most likely would have grown up hearing it. Maybe he spoke it as a child. I couldn't find any evidence of that, but he definitely would have heard the dialect a lot. So it's just, someone that maybe you never heard of. Teaching you a little bit about another famous Pennsylvania Dutchman. Again, check out the links below, or just Google Roy Smeck, and you'll come upon a bunch of YouTube videos of him performing back in the 1920s and 30s, and just it'll blow your mind. He's absolutely amazing, amazing musician. So a quick one here on another famous Pennsylvania Dutchman, Roy Smeck. If you have ideas for future videos, whether it's another famous person you think I should highlight, or a grammar topic, or a vocabulary topic, or a cultural topic, or something from history, don't be afraid to email me. My address is at the end. Tell your friends about the videos. Have them subscribe to the YouTube channel if they haven't already. And keep practicing your Pennsylvania Dutch. And we'll keep the videos coming. Max gut.
Mach's gut.